Hello everybody and welcome back to another blank commentary of RWBY, Volume 4. I completely forgot. World of Remnant, Faunus, I think. Faunus? Whatever. Yeah, this will be another World of Remnant episode. These episodes tend to be quite a bit shorter, but regardless, I believe I will get quite a bit of the material to work with, because these do reveal quite a lot of information, and they do contain a lot of tidbits of lore that I especially adore. And I really do like the art style of these as well, so they are a nice refresher. Plus they give me quite a bit more, they give me a few more days to spend with this series, and I just adore that. So, or a few more weeks rather, but yeah. Let's just get on with it. And that is incredibly loud. Faunus. So,
you know, most of us spend a lot of time talking about mankind versus Grimm. Technically, there is a third party in the mix, the Faunus. In case you're not in the know, Faunus are a species on Remnant that appear to be human in just about every way. Every way but one. Each Faunus has a single animalistic trait, some more apparent than others. Ram horns, tiger claws, cat ears. I swear, on my huntsman's license, I once saw a guy regrow his severed lizard tail.
That is interesting. A lizard tail that can regrow. That is... I didn't even think about that, but if they are like fully animalistic traits, like that they are... I wonder, do they actually offer some kind of advantages, like ram horns being especially durable and maybe even enhancing your skull, strength of your skull, although I would believe you still would get quite a bit of concussion, and you having a monkey tail could seem like these do seem like maybe perhaps like strict upgrades, although they do definitely alienate you from the rest of humanity, so yeah. Like maybe cat ears and eyes maybe perhaps would give you enhanced senses or something, because that certainly would seem really useful, and even in a lot of RPs you really are looking for those kinds of traits, so that seems like a strict upgrade from humanity. That seems kind of harsh to say, but you know, just saying. I would trade my ears for cat ears and cat eyes. That certainly seems like a worthy trade, I suppose. Slight alienation is nothing new to me at the very least, so... bother.
No amount of drinking can make you forget that pretty picture. As far as everyone's aware, Faunus have been around as long as mankind, if not a little longer. History gets a little fuzzy past a certain point, but we do know that their kind and ours are completely compatible from a biological standpoint.
How very elegantly put there. So they are at the very least compatible with humanity, at the very least on genetical level, which actually has quite a lot of implications. How you now thinking about crossbreeding, breeding. That has a lot of implications just on a DNA level, because there are, well, if you think about it, I'm not gonna think about this, this goes into a rather weird territory, but that could raise a question, perhaps they are more compatible with, maybe I shouldn't go down this path.
Take two wolf Faunus, and you get a little wolf cub kiddo. A wolf Faunus and a human also typically means your little bundle of joys teething phase could get a little dicey. But if you take a wolf Faunus and a bull Faunus, for example, it's a complete roll of the dice.
Oh.
For all you know, you could be cleaning up your son's shedded snake skin.
interesting. So between one another, this race doesn't have any, or they have a lot of questions. Maybe their genes work like on a very different type of scale, that where they mix, they might actually activate some recessive genes and just suddenly bring those to forefront and those take over. And apparently there's only a single type of mutation that can take like precedence, and this is actually surprisingly interesting to think about. Crossbreeding is perhaps not the most cleanest of things to think about, but it certainly is interesting to think about, like how genes and how genes work in this manner. I mean, I'm certainly interested, but I doubt that this is something that they have completely fleshed out. Like, I do remember in one edition of D&D there was a huge crossbreeding chart. Actually, it wasn't D&D, was it? I can't remember. But there was a huge crossbreeding chart of all of the races, which just labeled out. I doubt that there's anything similar to that in this series, because that's really unimportant.
Scientists are still scratching their heads when it comes to, well, a lot about Faunus. But science isn't the real problem. It's how we all get along. Or, in this case, how we don't. Early man was scared to death of the Faunus, and honestly, it's not too hard to sympathize with that. Seeing something that looks like you and acts like you walk out of the forest and reveal a pair of fangs can be a little upsetting. Like most things man doesn't understand, all sorts of rumors and stories surround the Faunus. People avoided them like the plague, pushing them out of settlements and sometimes even hunting them down.
Well, that's dark.
They began to outnumber the Faunus, and the Faunus began to consider man nothing more than a hostile species. Can't really blame them. These clashes between species were unavoidable, as land that was safe from the Grimm was in constant short supply. But it was the Grimm that finally brought humans and Faunus together for the first time. A village in Sanus fell under attack, and the only reason anyone survived was because the humans and Faunus united against their common enemy.
I mean, that actually seems rather reasonable, that a common enemy would bring people together, because, I mean, that's rather simplistic. Common enemy brings people together. So, you know, if there's a common reason to unite, if there is an even stronger foe, you supposedly you should throw away your little squabbles of just minor issues with each other to defend yourself from something quite a bit more threatening.
It was a step in the right direction, but it didn't fix everything. Once humanity learned they weren't so different from the Faunus, they still used those differences as an excuse to exploit and alienate them. The treatment of the Faunus differed around the world, and things wouldn't improve much for them until the Great War. Veil and vacuole against men and Mistral, a war unlike anyone had ever seen. And when it was over,
this is actually the mentioning of the Great War now, isn't this? This is actually really important information that they are just throwing away here. This is something that I want to delve more deeply into, but at the very least they are mentioning and broadening it, using, like, not directly addressing it, but using these World of Remnant episodes as a method of giving at the very least small glimpses of information towards that. So I really do appreciate that.
the world was desperate to find compromises that would ensure we'd never see the lights again. Faunus were awarded equal rights as citizens of Remnant, and as an apology, they were given an entire continent of their own to do with as they pleased. There were some that saw this as fair and just. Many saw it for what it really was. A slap in the face from a nation of sore losers. So menagerie was born. There's still Faunus all over the world, though the fair treatment they were promised varies in quality from place to place. But menagerie will always be their safe haven. Here's the thing, though. You can only push and prod people so much before they reach a tipping point. And when you pack those people together, it just makes it all the easier for them to get organized. get even.
Well, that is a dark reminder of what has happened. But that is really quite a reasonable explanation of how that even happened, so, or how that organization formed. Huh. Okay. Outro. I'll just do it like this. Yeah. What is there to say, though? I actually quite like this. It does actually give me quite a useful tool for passing quite a bit more information out of the world, and it actually delves this episode quite a bit delved more deeply into the whole genetic issue, which is quite an interesting one that I didn't actually think that they would actually mention here, but I am really happy that they did, because that just gets my brain all just bubbling around with ideas and makes me theorize quite a bit, and makes me actually question quite a few things, and that's just that I'm really glad that that happened, because I really do appreciate raising questions, because for obvious reasons, I like theorizing. Yeah, I really quite like this episode. It's pretty good, even if it is rather short, but these are really compact packages of information, so that's understandable. Quite liked it. I don't have much else to say, I suppose. Yeah. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you all in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Hmmm out. Thank you very much for watching.